Hi everyone. I'm here today with Kennhyn Ang. He's from Malaysia. And then you're probably thinking, Kevin, why are you talking to a Malaysian man for your Korean alcohol channel? But I promise you, this is a very interesting situation. Kennhyn, can you please give us like a
Uh,
quick introduction of who you are and what you do?
Actually, I own a bottle shop called Ales and Lagers, and for the past 4 years, we created this brand called Modern Madness. And from then, we actually infuse beer because of the country law that don't allow us to brew. So we try to figure out or make it like how the new beer are made and try to see how far we can do with that. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah,
that,
I
that
wanted to.
kind of
One of my
idea.
questions was what are those Malaysian alcohol laws? Can you explain that?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work in your country? Okay, yeah.
In Malaysia we have two main big brewery, the commercial brewery, and we have one small brewery called Napex. The two big commercial brewery will be Carlsberg and Heineken. So they monopolize basically the whole Malaysian market. And from far we know it's not easy to apply to get a brewery license to go on. So that itself, how to put it, have deter from home brewers to, especially in this craft beer kind of era, to make new beer. Of course, in Malaysia, you have a lot of home brewer, and they do pretty decent beer actually. Yeah. So the culture of craft beer has been growing, especially this couple of years. Yeah.
Okay, so you can homebrew, but it like you have to consume that yourself, I guess.
The,
Like you
the
can't
law
sell
is
it, I
pretty.
guess.
Yeah, the law is pretty great. We don't even know whether we can homebrew or
The Wild West,
not.
yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
how like because craft beer wasn't like that popular, or maybe it's getting more popular now, but how did you become introduced to craft beer? Why like what was your introduction to all these different kinds of beer? Where
Oh. Uh, so it started many years ago. In 2008, a few friends went to Phuket and we noticed that there's a lot of beer going at the shelf in the supermarket. Oh, we started to try every beer. So when we came back to KL, we started to hunt for beer. So we started blogging in 2008 in a website called beerbeer.org. No more exists to this day. And from then we start to write and to find out more about beer. So we went to Singapore, which they have a couple of brew pubs there, like Brewworks or Paulana Brauhaus, Red Dot, even Archipelago. Then was brewed by Fel Allen, Anderson Valley right now. And we know we learn from them. They teach us a lot of interesting fact on beers, how to taste, how to drink, how to brew. So we learn a lot from them. And it take us another 4 years before we open Ales and Lagers. As you can see, 10 behind. So the shop is 10 years now.
hey,
So
congratulations.
yeah, we
Yeah.
just celebrate 10 years. We've been to a lot of beer fests and we do enjoy them, and we met a lot of more like-minded people and drink more. And throughout the time in Malaysia, a lot more people importing the beer as well. And that itself helped the introduction of the craft beer. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, your introduction to craft beer was kind of like outside of your country. Yeah, yeah. And so I guess
Yeah, in that sense, yes.
you decided to bring it home.
We drank too much. We drank too much.
I think everyone watching can relate to that a little bit. Yeah, yeah. We all have that
I
feeling
think so.
sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so how like
Yes.
one of the thing I learned that made me interested in talking to you, explain to everyone your you don't have to give away the entire process or like the super details, but you're making right craft beer in Malaysia, but you have a very interesting process. I've never seen this, and that's so interesting to me. So, can you tell us how you take beer and make it craft beer?
So we basically learn from all the, especially from the dry hopping age. A lot of the time in the new age brewing where you have New England IPA or hazy IPA. So I think that was the start for what we doing, because we have a simple beer. Right? So our base is basically all lager. So from that lager, we noticed that, hey, what if we start dry hopping it as well? So at first we are using the bitter hop, the dry hop, just like the West Coast IPA would do so. Then later on we thought, hey, maybe like Korea in Malaysia has the same thing. We have a lot of dry flower, we have a lot of dry herbs and all these things. So from then we like let's do some crazy shit, you know. Let's put other things to dry hop, and rather than hop, we swap it to flour, we swap it to tea, we put roots in, you know. It's like in Korea, you know, when you have the ginseng chicken, you know, you have all the roots of ginseng, you have the goji berry. So in Malaysia, it's the same thing. We have a lot of access of all these dry herbs. So we start to put it all in and see where it goes. So of course, in the early days, it's not as refined as now. Because early days is like put that way, we are just going it the terrorist way, you know. Let's do it and see how it goes. Let's build the bomb and see whether it will explode, you know.
Right,
So
right.
once a while, like in the beginning, like maybe first try half the time. If we are lucky, we got a hit. If we are not, yeah, it came out pretty bad.
I
So
feel
with the
that way
pouring of the
making beer
beer,
now. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Your lagers that you're dry hopping, what do you buy lagers from different macro breweries, or do you have like a favorite one? Or
So we at first we thought that we will get someone more commercial, but we also worried that they will come up and hunt after us because of the brand issue and all this thing. So we decided to stick with a small one. The beer is basically Legend beer, produced by a very small producer, locally brand, and yeah, we just get the beer and they produce two types. They produce a black lager and basically a normal lager. And from that, we sub the range to a very different. We make an ale out of a lager. We made a stout out of a lager. That kind of thing. So
what?
we start to
How do you make a
yeah.
stout out of a lager? Yeah.
So we understand the process of carbonization. So a lot of times if your stout is too carbonate, a lot of people find the body is too light. So it's more stand towards the lager kind of mouthfeel. So if you reduce the carbonation and thicken up the the beer, so you end up become a stout as well in terms of mouthfeel. Of course, in the purist term, or if you're taking BJCP or Cicerone, this will confuse the hell out of them.
Yeah,
In
I
that
have the
scenario,
first level of the
yeah,
Cicerone. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically
yeah.
you're taking like kind of like a blank canvas of a lager, kind of, and then you're making it. Yeah, and then again, the laws don't apply because you're not brewing, right? You're not like
Yes.
mashing the malt and then
So
boiling. Yeah, yeah. And
in
you're not fermenting is
in
the key part. Yeah, yeah.
I think in the context of the new beer, it will be more like what we are doing will be, I would say, beer cocktail in a easy understanding. But in a
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
contrast, we do brew, but the way we brew is slightly different as well. Because to extract the bitterness of the hop, you still need to brew. You need to put in
Yeah.
a heat to get the bitterness out of it. For aromatic, of course, it's much easier. You can just dunk it in and infuse or cold brew or
Do you boil it like a hop tea and then add the tea to the lager? Okay,
yes,
that's
we
the
do. Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
one of the only ways to
yeah.
do that. Yeah, yeah.
So Ales and Lager is basically a bottle shop. If you can see all the bottle on the side, that
Yep.
side. So 3 o'clock is the operating hour, so we're gonna open soon.
Ah.
So yeah, if the customer walk in, I think it's all right. Well, they are used to me by now. Yeah. So like during the pandemic, we did a lot of live show as well to sell beers and
Oh,
introduction
nice.
and things like that. But we are not very good in selling beer. We are better in drinking. You know, so
You have like so many
yeah.
American microbrews and all these like, and you'll have like microbreweries from the US that are like 8, 9%, and you can sell them because you're importing them, right? But it's so funny. The government's like, you better, if you dare make this yourself. What is, what is this? Like I was in Kuala
Uh,
Lumpur and I went to a variety store and I got
well,
like a lychee flavored vodka.
mm,
And it's like it's so funny how I can go to the variety store and I was in downtown Kuala Lumpur and I put it in a bottle of Coke and I'm walking around just because I was there for 24 hours and I
yeah.
wanted to enjoy the city. And it's just funny that government won't let you brew like a 6% lager or a 6% pale ale, but I can buy vodka at this corner shop. It's so bizarre to me. Yeah.
So that's why actually Southeast Asia, even in Asia, a lot of countries you'll be
Thailand too is
surprised
pretty
that brewing
strict.
beer is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
as easy as what it is. A more liberal kind of thought that liberal drinking country like Thailand is actually not easy to open a brew pub. So that's why one of the friend, I think it's our hip hop boy now, he's a politician. He's fighting very hard so that the
Yeah, I was gonna ask
legislation
you,
will
who is
change
there
and all this.
pushback? Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
always a pushback. But
like
yeah, so um,
who's trying to like change the laws? I guess it's people who want to brew, right? Or like
in
who's
Malaysia,
leading
it's
this
not
campaign?
easy because you don't even know where to lead. I think like even couple of years ago when we were blogging, we write to Ministry of Finance. Hopefully, they don't increase the tax. So, but thankfully, they didn't increase the tax until 2014, which is quite a long time for Malaysia. Actually, that of course Malaysia is still one of the high side on alcohol tax. So, but in 2014, they changed the tax system, and the beer tax a bit on the high side. Previously, they don't go by alcohol per volume; they just go at one price. You just pay one price, you can bring in the
Geez,
whatever alcohol strength. Yeah, which is awesome because during that period we just bought in all the imperial style double IPA,
yeah. Get your
anything
money's worth.
above
Yeah,
eight
yeah.
and above. Yeah, and it's so cheap. Then we can get in like let's say fresh squeeze at 8% at 28 ringgit, but now fresh squeeze is like 35, 38 ringgit. So it has increased a lot throughout that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the things that are fun in that context. That in a political way, of course, things will always go up and down. And yeah, brewing in Malaysia temporary, not a very very big hope even after 10 years doing it or
I
embarking
hope
into this
you're
line.
doing your part. You're doing your part, Kennhyn. Introducing people, and hopefully that'll get people kind of thinking about this more, and yeah, it'll be a little easier for you to brew. Yeah, yeah. All right. I guess I have one more question for you. It's about the beers you make. So, can you
Yeah.
tell us about like the best beer you ever made and the worst beer you ever made, and like what did you put in? Like, what did you put in the best one? What did you put in the worst one? Yeah.
Uh, so we started out before we had hop. So we started out chrysanthemum beer. So
Okay.
chrysanthemum dry flower. I think Korean also have a lot of those string as well there that they
Yeah,
can
we use that
infuse
in the
into
rice wine
tea.
here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we do in the beginning. So after that and malted sugar is available in Malaysia, so we can get malted sugar, make the beer slightly on the sweet side, enhance the flavor. So those were the easy one when we start. And from there, before we have explore more on hops, and on the hop side, of course, early days we also got limited on buying like Citra or Mosaic. Those days we can only get like maybe Galaxy, Cascade. Those are all bittering hops that you work with, and that itself has really put a lot of hard work though. Yeah, to get the bitterness. It's either you accidentally heat up because we are not heating up a lot. We are heating up at maybe like 100 grams per cakes or something like that. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, this is too hoppy, you have to reduce it to 50 gram or 35 gram. And the boiling process and all these things are quite vary from one and another as well. So early days of making the beer is actually very tough though. Yeah. Then from the process we learned that hey, let's do half, even with the bittering hop, we do half and half. Half on boiling, half on dry hopping, like most of the West Coast are doing as well. Then like, hey, this is not bad. Then like suddenly the New England flow are coming in with big. I think we need to get our hand on aromatic hops. Let's get some Citra. Let's get some Mosaic. So those are quite our staple right now. So like most of the time we have a Citra on the tab. We have Madness with IPA, which is also put in with Mosaic hops. Then our stout are pretty decent. So the stout also with Cascade and Mosaic as well. We got the black IPA. So on the other thing, like currently more popular one will be doing yuzu. So besides using
Nice. Yeah,
some
yeah.
light yuzu syrup, yeah, we also put in a lot of dried lemon and all these things to create a lot of citrus flavor as well because these are widely available in Malaysia.
Yeah, yuzu
Basically come
especially.
from
Yeah, yeah.
basically come from China. Yeah, the lemon. So we put in a few citrus to get that flavor in. By doing that, we also add in a bit of dried flavor hop to get a bit of hoppiness, the bitterness hanging into it as well. So all this added into the current range of more popular drinks. So the last event we did also, we tried to do goose or I don't know that. I never know how to produce sour beer. We try to make sour beer. So we put in
Goes yeah,
watermelon,
yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
my country have a lot. We are hot. Yeah. So we put in
See,
and we put
you
in
can
apple
make them by
cider vinegar
accident
to
in
blend in.
Malaysia. Yeah. Easy. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah. So the worst one I would say that it's nice in the beginning, but it turned out bad after a couple of days, like durian beer, those kind of hardcore things.
Oh
We
God.
made different type of durian beer. Actually, we made a fermented durian beer. We made a fresh durian beer. We made the one that we blend the durian and throw it in and boil together. We try all this again. These are ingredients available in Malaysia, but it's
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
expensive
it's
for
there. Yeah,
durian.
yeah.
Yeah, and what we create is not craft beer actually, but what we create is an option that people can get flavorful drinks at a very reasonable price. That's what we are trying to fight for. So like Modern Madness, we start our price at 15 ringgit, and yeah, the stout at 20 ringgit and things like that is something affordable that people can try it out. As it's kind of a stepping stone before you step into craft beer market for those that haven't tried craft beer before. So I think just explore. If you're a home brewer, explore. Don't limit yourself on the ingredient. If you have the opportunity to make your favorite kind of flavor, just do it. Don't care about what people are gonna say. Enjoy it, and
You sound like
best
me.
to
Yeah.
enjoy with your friend. Yeah, just enjoy with your friend and see how it goes. And work with the ingredient that you can get easily get in the market. I think that itself is very
Fresh,
fun.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
Words of
kind of
wisdom.
yeah.
Words of wisdom from Kennhyn Ang.
Yeah,
All right, Kennhyn.
yeah.
I will let you go now. But thank you so much for your time, and keep brewing. And I will keep in touch with you throughout and see how you're doing. Yeah.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Have fun.
All right.
See
Thanks,
you, man.
man.